We had a claim with AllState for a vehicle that was, in our opinion, severely damaged and even if repaired, unsafe. We were polite, persistent, and followed through on everything that we told the company we would do in terms of going online and making a nuisance of ourselves. And in doing that, AllState did finally give us what we wanted, which was to total the vehicle because it's unsafe. A few weeks ago, there was a big storm here, high wind, a lot of rain, and a dead tree fell across the road and landed smack in the middle of the cab of our 2013 Chevy Silverado. It's a Z71 model. It was in excellent condition, really low mileage, 36,000 miles. And the other side of the tree was hung up in the wires, so all the weight was down on the cab. It smashed the roof in, broke the windshield, and of course, rain was pouring into the vehicle. And when the tree company came to remove the tree from the truck, actually, they broke the back window. More damage was done in different areas of the truck. And it rained for 2 days, rained in, wet the whole interior. The dashboard was crushed, bent. And when we called the insurance company, they told us to take photographs and put them online in their system on the computer. And my husband insisted that an adjuster come down and take a look at it. They said it would be a few days. So it sat. The adjuster came. He valued the vehicle at $25,000 and offered us $9,500 for the repairs. My husband is a certified welder, and he knew that nothing was going to be up to the standards of the welds done in the factory, and that the vehicle was never going to be as safe as it was when it was newly built. And he insisted on having the vehicle totaled. The adjuster said that they were, maybe he could get us up to $10,000, but that was nowhere near enough to the $25,000 to total it. So my husband said that wasn't going to work, and we were going to follow other channels and see what we could do. And he always stayed civil and polite, which is really key apparently with dealing with your adjuster or dealing with your insurance company. So we had the vehicle towed to the local dealership, the Chevy dealer, and they looked it over. We continued going back and forth with the adjuster and with our agent. Our agent finally got to the point where he wasn't returning our calls, so we were dealing directly with the adjuster, constantly repeating what we wanted, telling him step by step what we were planning to do, what we were doing, like posting with pissed customer, Facebook. You went on Instagram with our review, calling the State Attorney General's office, which we held off on, and always being polite. Then, because my husband was polite, the adjuster gave him the name and phone number of someone several levels higher. And he also sent photographs. We kept taking photos, talking to the people at the dealership about how we could get the price up, the value of the work up, and still stay legal and honest. We did not want this vehicle back on the road because it would never be safe. And we didn't want the vehicle. One thing that we learned is that if going to a local dealer, when they found out the work that would need to be done on the vehicle, they said they wouldn't take it in trade, and that the value of the vehicle was cut in half. And AllState kept saying, well, if you're not happy with the work, then just trade it in. And when my husband said they won't take it, they were surprised by that. So the fact that the vehicle wouldn't be safe, and some of the work that they wanted to do was sort of half work, like splicing in wires, totally unacceptable to us, and we were not willing to get this vehicle and try to sell it ourselves. If a dealer thought it was unsafe and we thought it was unsafe, why would we want to pass that vehicle on to someone? We never had a claim in 40 years with AllState. We have no claims. We have had several buildings with them, several vehicles, including an umbrella, and we've always paid on time. So we thought that they would be a little bit more bendable, a little more generous, and they weren't. But key, always be polite, be specific, and be persistent. So what we found by talking to different people and doing research is there are tipping points in whether or not they'll total a vehicle. One thing is that the value of the work has to be high enough that it's close to the value of the vehicle. And our vehicle, because we've taken such good care of it and it had such low mileage, was valued high, so we needed to have the damage be high. So major glass damage, wet airbags, for us the warped dashboard and it being having the wires exposed to the weather, something we didn't have but that is a tipping point for them, is damage to the frame, and major mechanical damage, which again we didn't have. So because we never threatened them, we were always polite but forceful, and we've been good customers, and we always, each time we spoke to the people, we always said the next thing we're going to do if we don't get what we need, what we want is, and always repeating, mailing them photographs, emailing. My husband yesterday spoke to this higher level person that the adjuster gave the name of and phone number. And he told him about his health issues. My husband has asthma, he has allergies, he's still getting over his pneumonia. The vehicle, when they took it into the shop, now had mice living in the headliner. Yeah, it was pretty gross. And the water and mold issues, my husband had the dealer take samples of the upholstery and filling of the upholstery to test for mold. He was going to get samples for the mice to see if there was any disease carrying issues there, really trying to follow every line. And he gave all this information to this higher up person, being polite, being persistent, but firm. This morning, we received a phone call from the adjuster who has been kind of on our side, but still trying to do his job. And he told us that AllState had totaled the vehicle and they were giving us $25,540 for it. So finally, in all this, seeing ads on TV, you're in good hands with AllState, we finally feel like they've lived up to their slogan and given us what we should have gotten. So thank you, AllState. Letting people know what was going on. Their ads say you're in good hands, and we've had great experience with them taking our money. The experience of giving us what we felt we deserved was basically a pain in the ass. A lot of time researching and phone calls between the two of us. It was really an annoying process. So if I can make it a little bit easier for the next person, we are going to be changing insurance companies at some point when I have the time to do the research to find a better insurance company. Somebody, a company that, I guess they all want to hold on to their money, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to find. But also just letting people know that threatening doesn't work. Being angry and raising your voice and making it a personal vendetta against your insurance company doesn't work. What works is to be specific, to be polite, and be persistent. And follow through on anything that you say you're going to do in terms of, like the interview, calling the state attorney general. We happened to have dinner with our congresswoman a week ago, so that helped, saying that we had done that. My
speaking to the Chevy dealer collision people.
Speaking to the Chevy dealer collision people, basically educating ourselves on what needs to be done and how to do it, but always staying polite. That's why I believe the adjuster gave us the name and number of the higher up in the claims department, because he felt, that we were good people and we weren't playing games with him. It wasn't a personal thing against him or even against the company. It was just that we really didn't want this vehicle back on the road because we felt it was unsafe.